Because of COVID-19, we are in the middle of a historically severe recession. And one thing that we know about recessions is that they really damage Social Security's finances. Social Security's main source of revenue is through payroll taxes. And when a worker is laid off, they don't pay payroll taxes. We've lost 10.7 million jobs since February, and that's 10.7 million Americans who are no longer paying into the Social Security system. Meanwhile, even a lot of workers who have kept their jobs have had raises delayed or canceled. They've had their hours cut. And all of that means that they're earning less money. And when someone earns less, they pay less in payroll taxes, which further reduces Social Security's revenue. So we know that this recession will reduce Social Security's revenue. And because of that, we know that it will accelerate the depletion of Social Security's trust funds, but we don't know by how much. And that's what our paper tries to answer. The most important and first part of that answer is its uncertainty. It will depend on things like when a coronavirus vaccine is available to the public, the future course of the pandemic, how much more fiscal stimulus is enacted, things that we just don't know the answer to right now. And so instead of trying to predict the future, we run a series of 4 stress tests, modeling various intensities and future possible paths of this recession, and seeing how Social Security's finances would fare under each. And what leaps out from these stress tests is, I think, 3 primary takeaways. First, there's a lot of uncertainty in how many people will be out of work for how long, and so how much sooner Social Security's trust funds will be depleted. 2, despite that uncertainty, in every single scenario we model, even the most mild ones, reserves in Social Security's trust funds are depleted at least 1 year earlier than we'd expected earlier in the year before COVID. Third, the disability trust fund, because it's much smaller than the retirement trust fund, is much more vulnerable to this economic crisis than retirement is. Even in our best case scenario, the disability trust fund is depleted 10 years earlier than Social Security's trustees had expected at the start of the year. So at the start of the year, Social Security's trustees projected the disability trust fund would be depleted in 2065. We find that even in our mildest stress test, those reserves are gone in the mid-2050s. But in our 2 more pessimistic ones, their reserve depletion is accelerated by a full 40 years into the mid-2020s. So again, the main findings from our paper is that we don't know just how severely this recession will affect Social Security, but we know that it will, and it will cause the trust funds to be depleted sooner. Even before this, Social Security was in a precarious long-term state, and this crisis is only going to exacerbate that problems, which makes it that much more important to address Social Security's long-term finances.